At first glance, you might think this girl has the perfect life. I mean, just look at her smile. Nothing could be wrong, right? So how exactly did she go from looking like this all the way to covering her entire body with ink? This is the story of Amber Luke, the girl who went blind getting her eyeballs tattooed. Mental health cripples a lot of people, and in the case of Amber, she was diagnosed with severe clinical depression at the age of 16. It was so bad that she couldn't leave the house because of her low confidence, and didn't even want to look at herself in the mirror. As things escalated, she felt like she was reaching her endpoint, completely helpless. But something saved her. You see, around that time she got her first few tattoos, and while getting inked may be unpleasant for many of us, for her, it was more like a peaceful experience, kind of like a negative energy release and a euphoric feeling. So naturally, Amber was drawn to that and became addicted to getting tattoos and modifying her body. The more she covered herself, the more she felt comfortable in her own skin. As the years passed, her collection of ink grew to what it is today, dropping over $250,000 in order to cover well over 98% of her body. But it didn't stop there, because she underwent two other extreme modifications that didn't exactly go quite as well as she planned. One of them was her tongue split, something which failed the first time, all because during the healing process, her tongue pretty much went back together. So she had to do the procedure again, except this time, it was much more painful due to the scar tissue that built up from before. Now, the other incident that happened is something that no one on earth would ever want to experience, and that's going blind. Amber wanted colored eyeballs, specifically blue ones. And for those who don't know how that's done, well, in the simplest manner, ink is injected underneath the top layer of the eye onto the sclera in several locations, and once that's done, you get the eye color of your choice, but it's irreversible. However, this is where things get sketchy for her, because during the 40-minute long procedure, she claims the artist went too deep with the needle and something went horribly wrong. Amber immediately felt excruciating pain, similar to having someone rub 10 shards of glass in her eyes. This huge mishap caused her to go blind, and for the next 2 days, anytime she cried, her tears would be blue. Could you imagine what must have been going through her head at that time? You go from having all these problems already to losing your eyesight and not knowing what's gonna happen. But as unfortunate as that sounds, she was very lucky at the same time, and that's because her vision ended up coming back after 3 weeks. Now, despite this massive scare and it literally being everyone's worst nightmare, the question arises, does Amber regret any of this? And also, what kind of problems and hardships is she facing now because of her altered look? Well, for one, she's admitted that her appearance have limited her employment options. Also, something that really gets to her is when people come up in person calling her ugly and saying how she ruined herself. However, despite all of this, Amber regrets absolutely nothing. She doesn't regret her body tattoos, her face tattoos, her tongue split experience, nor does she regret her eyeball tattoos that could have potentially blinded her forever. And though it's really easy to pass judgment on someone based off their looks, the reality is, not one of us knows what the other person is going through that triggered their decision to doing what they did to themselves in the first place. Perfect case and example, because in society, this look is considered the standard of beauty, but what's that all worth when the individual doesn't see it that way? And surprisingly, looking like she does now, Amber actually feels much more liberated. She says her tattoo and body modification journey helped her become stronger and more resilient. So why should she regret it? Not only that, but when it comes to being rejected for a job, she's gonna stay true to herself, for the fact that if a company can't look past her image, then she'd rather not work for them at all. If Amber herself is happier looking like she does now, and this is what she needs in order to continue living a better and more liberated life, then is there room to judge, or is it anybody's business? Me, I say no. What she does with her body is her choice, and if that's what makes her happy, then more power to her. But at the end of the day, everyone's entitled to their opinion, so let me know your thoughts in the comment sections below. As always, smash that subscribe button with the bell notifications on, destroy the like button for the algorithms, and I'll see you guys next Saturday.